Did you know there is a way to sew for your client without having to measure them physically? Or perhaps you already measured them but you omitted some measurements. Well, in this video, I will be sharing with you some measurement formulas that is tested and trusted. Watch to the end so you don't miss out on any of the formulas. Subscribe to the channel if you are yet to do so. Like this video and of course leave a comment. Don't forget to share it so that others can learn from it. So let's just get started, okay? So this is just me trying to show you all of the formulas you'll be learning from this video. Don't worry, you'll still see all of them during the course of the video, okay? It's very simple and the formulas are quite handy. So let's just get started without wasting much of your time, okay? So guys, the first one we'll be working with is the armhole depth measurement. So this is a picture representation of what your armhole depth looks like, okay, in case you're a beginner. So what you need is your shoulder measurements. You need the client shoulder measurement. All right, once you have the client shoulder measurement, you're good to go. It's very simple to get. Just shoulder divide by 2. It's very simple. The person's shoulder divide by 2 in case you don't know the armhole depth to use for that client. So let's say shoulder 12 divide by 2, it gives us 6 inches. So you see it. So on this line, make sure you start your armhole depth from the shoulder slope because the shoulder is not straight. Make sure you start measuring from the shoulder slope. Then there's also another method, but this first method is quite popular and straight to the point. So the second one is your bust circumference divide by 6 plus 1.5 inches. This is the one I actually do use most of the time. I use the second formula. Your bust circumference divide by 6 plus 1.5 inches. So let's assume the bust you're working with is 36 inches divided by 6 plus 1.5 inches. Okay, let's see what it gives us. All right, so in this case, plus 1.5 inches give us 7.5 inches. So this is it. Okay, so let me just finish up that first explanation, the first example I did, which is 6 inches, which I used the shoulder measurement for that. So let me just impute a random bust measurement. I just impute a random bust measurement here on that line so that I will just finish it up. So on that armhole line, I'll just make it divided into 2. Then I'll go in by 0.75. Then I'll do my armhole curve. I just want to do this, all right, so that you understand what I mean by armhole depth. Remember, our armhole depth is 6 inches. I use the first example, which is shoulder divided by 2. That is what I use, and I just curved it and all of that. So the second one is the shoulder measurement. This is our shoulder measurement. In case you forgot to take your client shoulder measurement, don't worry, I got you. Okay, so all you need is just the bust measurement divide by 6 plus 1.5 inches. The same thing we use at the second method of the armhole depth. So if the shoulder measurement is the bust measurement is 14, divide by 6 and just plus 1.7 inches, it will give you the person's shoulder measurement. So in all you do, don't forget to take your client bust measurement because you'll be needing it in case you forget other measurements. So in this case, this client now, what you will now use for the person is shoulder 8. You know, on this pattern paper, the shoulder we have there is 6, but for this our calculation now, the shoulder we're going to use for this client is 8. It's very simple. Then the next thing is your shoulder to bust point. In case you forgot to take the person's shoulder to bust point, don't worry, this video has covered everything. So let me show you on the pattern paper. In this pattern paper, what I have here is shoulder to bust point 10 inches. So let us do an example. Let me give you an example on how to go about it. Your bust measurement, your bust circumference divide by 4 plus 1 inch. Bust circumference divide by 4. Let me also use bust 38 divided by 4. All right, plus 1 inch. Let me calculate it. So once you forget, don't forget to take your shoulder, your client bust measurement. So in this case, shoulder to bust of this particular bust 38 is what? 10.5 inches. So it's very simple to get. So for this particular client whose bust is bust 38, the person's shoulder to bust is 10.5. So this is how to impute it on your pattern paper or on your fabric. Just measure from the shoulder to that 10.5. The one we have on the pattern paper already is 10 inch, all right, but for this new example is 10.5. Then the next is bust span, which you also call nipple to nipple. All right, your nipple to nipple measurement measurement. In case you forgot to take it, don't worry, I told you this video got you covered. All right, it's a detailed tutorial. Okay, so all you need again is your bust circumference. Divide by 8 in all minus 1. Once you divide your bust circumference by 8, just remove 1 from it. Whatever answer it gives you is your nipple to nipple or your bust span. You notice that we are always using bust. So whatever measurements you're forgetting, please try not to forget to take the bust measurement. So the answer we got in this case is what? 3.75. That is our nipple to nipple measurement, our bust span. So I'll just go ahead and impute it. Let me just show you how to impute it on your pattern paper or on your fabric. Okay, so this is it. I'm just imputing that 3.75 on this pattern paper. All right, then I'll just connect it like this. This is our nipple to nipple. This is for your corset, your bustier, or your dart. You want to impute a dart on the dress, you need your nipple to nipple measurement, and this is how to get it. All right, in case you omitted it. Then now this 3.75 times 2 is going to give you what? 7.5. Okay, that is if the pattern paper, if you open the pattern paper, what you're going to have is 7.5. all right, if you open the pattern paper or the fabric, divide by 2 is going to give you 3.75. that is what I imputed there. All right, then this is your cup size. All right, bust cup size. This is where a lot of people get confused. How do I contour my underballs? How do I contour my kini? This one now, this is how you're going to do it. To get your bust cup size formula, your bust circumference minus your under bust circumference. Let me take that again. To get your bust cup size formula, just your bust circumference minus your under bust circumference. So let me just look. Okay, let's use bust 40 minus under bust 32. Okay, bust 40 minus under bust 32 divide by 2. Okay, so bust 40 minus 32 is going to give me 8. Let me just through this line so that I will continue. So it gave me 8. Then 8 divided by 2 gives me what? 4 inches. It is very, very simple. So how to apply it? On this side, on the center front, just impute 1 inch. That side always takes about 1 inch, half inch to 1 inch. Center front takes about half inch to 1 inch. This side front takes like 2 inches or more, because your bust is fuller on that side. Now we're going to do elimination method. We're going to eliminate 1 inch from that 4, because that 4 will be too much for this person of bust 40. 3 inches is enough contouring for that person, bust 40 person. Okay, 3 inches is perfect. So I'll come down here from my bust point. I'll just curve it. I'm trying to curve it so that you understand what I mean by under bust curve. So this is it. Then I'll just connect the line like this. So if you want to make a princess that, your armhole princess seam, your shoulder princess seam, your neckline princess seam, this is how to go about it. In case you're wondering, I don't know, I'm confused, how do I measure this person? How do I contour the underbust? How many inches? That you have seen it today. So for the armhole, you see how I entered into the armhole with my armhole curve with that ruler. Then for the shoulder dart, just half of your shoulder, connect it back to your dart leg like this. Then for the neckline, in case it's a neckline dart, just go in and just connect it to any part of your neckline, any part of your, in fact, even your shoulder, it can be anywhere. Your princess armhole, it can be anywhere. So this is it. On this side, I have 2 inches. On the center front, I have 1 inch. Total of 3 inches under bust contouring. We eliminated 1 inch from that 4 inches answer that we got, because that 4 inches would be too much for a bust 40. This 3 inches is perfect. This is another, let me give another example. Okay, so in this case, let's say the person is a bust 40 minus under bust 36. Let me just punch my calculator so that we will see it. Bust 40 minus under bust 32 divide by 36 divide by 2. What answer did he give us? Still 4. He gave us 4 inches. Divide by 2, you're going to have 2 inches. So in this case now, we have 2 inches. All you have to do now is just enhance it. So since you have 2 inches, 2 inches is too small for this person that is a bust 40, abi. So all you need to do, just plus 1, all right, it gives you 3. Or from that initial 4 inches answer you got, just remove 1 like we did in the beginning. It will give you your answer. You understand? So it's very, very simple. You can either enhance the measurement, or you reduce. You can either enhance your answer or you reduce your answer. Or you can just add 0.5 inches to that answer. That means your underbust contouring will be 2.5. So you add 2 inch, you use 2 inches here and use 0.5 inch on this other side. Then if the answer is too small, maybe you just got like 1 inch, then you can just go ahead and add 2 more inches to enhance it. Okay, if the answer is too small, just enhance it by 1 inch, making it 3 inches. So the next we're going to look at is the sleeve cap height formula. In case you've been finding it difficult to do your sleeve cap height, all you need is your boy circumference divided by 12 plus 1 inch. So let me just say we are also using bust 40 divided by 12. Okay, it's going to give us 3.3 inches. All right, bust 40 divided by 12 is going to give us what? 3 inches. Then okay, plus 1 inch is going to give us 4.3 inches. Remember, we are going to plus 1 inch. So come to the top of the pattern paper, mark that. I'm not going to use 4 inches here because of this paper is actually very small. So let me just use about 3.5 inches instead of that 4.3 inches. Okay, this is an example I'm giving. This pattern paper is very small, so just mark it, and then after marking that 3.5 inches or your 4 inches, then go and measure your round armhole. Measure the round armhole, whatever amount you get or number you get, impute it on that line like this. Then grab your ruler and just connect it like this to the tip. Okay, from the sleeve cap, connect it to the tip of the pattern paper or the fabric. Then divide that slant line into 2. This will enable you to make your curve, your sleeve curve, very well. So just go in with your ruler like this, and just from this center point at the upper part, make it this curve, then flip it this way and curve it down to your armhole, where your armhole measurement stops. Then the next thing you need to do is just to go ahead and impute the sleeve length, and then the round sleeve, whatever round sleeve you're working with, whether it is 5 or 6, just impute it there. Then use your ruler again to just connect it. Okay, so it is very, very simple. This is how to get your sleeve cap height. I also use that to also show you how to draft a sleeve. It's very simple, right? So let's move on to the next one. Okay, I think I just cut it out. So guys, if you have watched this video to this point, please like it, share it, leave a comment so that other people can also see this video and learn from it. Let's help tailors solve their measurement challenges. So this is the sleeve. So the next one is crotch depth extension. As you can see on this trouser where the arrow is pointing. Okay, crotch depth formula, sorry, not crotch depth extension. So we're going to work on the high waist first of all before we now work on the low waist. So what you need to do is your hip, sorry, I wanted to do divide by 4 and I put -4. Sorry, it's not -4, it is divide by 4. All right, so hip 40 divide by 4, sorry, is minus, is going to give us 10. That is for high waist. Then for low waist, okay, the first example is for high waist, then the second example is for a low waist trouser. So hip 40 divide by 4, okay, you're going to now -1, all right, from your answer. So the answer is 9 for your low waist. It's very, very simple. So to further illustrate, to further buttress my point, this is how your trouser looks like. The curve, that curved part is your crotch. The place that I curved is your crotch, and you have the hip, and then you have the leg of the trouser and all of that. So this point now is the hip. So it is this hip now, your hip measurement, you're going to divide it by 4. All right, it will give you the first answer for the high waist, right? 10, which is 10 inches. Then divide it by 4 again, -1 is going to give you the second answer for the low waist. And this is your crotch extension where I'm pointing, and this is your crotch length. So it's very, very simple. All right, in case you're wondering what I mean by crotch and all of that. So the next thing is that we're going to work on now. Okay, I'm actually trying to write it so that you understand it better. So the next thing we're going to work with now is the crotch extension. This is also very, very important. This will determine how your trouser will sit. So hip divide by 20. For the crotch extension, we're dividing the hip by 20. For the crotch depth, we divided it by what? By 4. So hip 40 divided by 20 is going to give us what? 2 inches. All right, that is hip 40 divided by 20 is going to give us 2 inches. And this one now is once you want to make your trouser to be fitted at that area, that is, you use this first formula. Then for the second formula, if you want it to be loose, like all these pants that are not fitted, you just want it to be free on your body, you're going to divide your hip 40 divide by what? By 16. Okay, you divide your hip 40 by 16 is going to give you about I'm right, 2.5 inches. This is for loose fit trouser. Then inside these 2.5 inches, you can decide, this 0.5 inches is too small, let me add it and make it 3 inches. It all depends on what you want to achieve, but 2.5 inches is just enough to give you that little ease. All right, then this one is your what? Under bust. How to get your shoulder to under bust in case you forgot your measurements, your shoulder to under bust measurement of your client. This is how to get it. Just add extra 4 inches to your shoulder to bust point. That is what I'm trying to write. Don't worry, you will see it clearly. Just add extra 4 inches to your shoulder to bust point. Let me say your shoulder to bust point is 10. Add 4 inches to that 10. It's going to give you 14. So your under bust is 14 inches. It's very, very simple. So let me exemplify it. Shoulder to under bust of this pattern paper of this person is 10 inches. So by the time you add 4 inches to that 10 inches, it's going to give you 14 inches. So let me use this example. 10 inches plus 4 inches is what? 14 inches. So this person's under bust is 14 inches. Let me do another example. Let me give another example. Let me think of the number. Okay, shoulder to bust is a what? 9 inches. So let's add 4 inches to this. What is it going to give us? It's going to give us what? 13 inches. So this person's shoulder to under bust is what? 13 inches. Is very simple. Just add 4 inches to whatever shoulder to bust point you have. Add 4 inches to it, and you have your perfect shoulder to under bust measurement. Guys, we have come to the end of this tutorial. Please like this video, share, leave a comment, and please follow this page. Subscribe to this channel for more. See you in the next one. Bye.